BSTN store, and given that this one is all about drip, we had to find some of the drippiest people that we know. So without further ado, someone who brings all of the vibes all of the time is Rachael Anson. Woo! Woo, 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 woo. Someone who forever knows about footwear, of course, is Dennis M.I.K. And if you want drip on and off the court, on and off the pitch, it is our guys. Kevin Prince in the house. So welcome back. We are so gassed, so excited to jump into this one. It's all about streetwear, all about storytelling. Given that we've all got different stories, all different ways in which we wear our streetwear, our style. Kevin, I want to come to you first. What kind of style just defines you? Tell me what's that one key component that is always in your wardrobe?
That's a good question. There's always everything in my wardrobe, but the most important to me is my trim.
Your trim? Yeah. You see, it's creative.
So I have a lot of hats because if my trim ain't right, I put a hat on.
Okay, so you got your hat collection good. Rachael, let me come to you, sis. You're behind the decks, you're on the dance floor. We see it all, but what's your key components, your drip?
Has to be the trainers.
Okay.
Has to be the sneakers. I think that's always like my standout thing for my outfit. Could be wearing a nice suit or a dress and whatnot. I'm gonna make sure I drop it with some nice sneakers.
Yeah, nice. And Dennis?
I used to go with sneakers as well, but I think it's starting to get a bit annoying because when you're going out, no one really sees your sneakers. You know, it's dark, everyone's stepping on your crepes. So I don't even bring my nicest ones out anymore. I think it will be sunglasses now.
Ooh,
sunglasses.
So you wear sunglasses when you go to the club?
Yeah, but not the ones that cover your eyes, the ones where you can see your eyes. Yeah,
Mine is always gold hoops, you know. Just similar to what you're saying, it's like it just completes the look. So you've got a little gold hoop in your ear, you feel suave. So I want to say that this is all about street culture. It's like a wall. And I want to bounce some balls against this wall, one being sport or music or dance, whatever it is. But I want to know what comes back. So Rachael, tell me your story. How did you get into all that you do now? And how does streetwear play a huge role in everything?
I think streetwear plays a role in everything. I feel like no matter what field you're in, so if it's sports or dancing or whatever, you always want to look cool. Do you know what I mean? So I think the street culture always plays a part in that. But for me, growing up, to be fair, I didn't really have much shoes. I couldn't really afford it. So I don't know about you lot, but we used to have this thing where you open the catalogue and then you circle which trainer or sneaker you buy. I used to dream. I used to really dream that I wanted this sneaker and those sneakers and whatnot. So I think when I got into a position where I could start to afford certain sneakers, I just went crazy with it.
Yeah, nice. What about yourself, Dennis?
Yeah, I come from hip hop actually. Many people know me for Afro dance and stuff, but I actually started with hip hop. And in hip hop, you know you have to look fly. So when you look fly, you dance good, you know what I mean? You get the right attention, if you get what I'm talking about. And then, you just dance good. So for me, it was always clean sneakers, good clothes. You're going out, you're presenting yourself, and you're just going with what hip hop is. You really radiate that.
Do you know what's so funny? You say that your drip makes you dance better, but oftentimes, like, whatever someone is wearing also makes the angle of what you do look better as well. Do you feel better in what you wear when you're on court?
Yeah, it gives you confidence, you know? You come out, you look good, so people will see you in a different way. That's what you think. So I started as well as a young kid, looking around what kind of sneakers I want, you know? So with 15, 16, I made my first money. First thing you buy is sneakers because you wanted to be like all the guys in the States. You look up to all these guys, Tupac or whatever, all the rappers. So then after you come into clothing, every little money you have, you buy a piece, another piece, another piece. So yeah, it came slowly, but at the end of the day now in Europe, I think our drip is better than the one in the States. I think we took over. That's why they always come over now and look at how we dress.
Yeah. I'm actually going to jump back to what you were talking about, Rachael, because every year my family are mad. My family are crazy at Christmas. We do fancy dress. So last year, the theme was like black icons across any genre. And so I went as Missy, because from time, I loved Missy's swag. So I went as a super duper fly video music because I was like, I'm going to go with the black bin bag and just pump up bare air into it, the hoops, the pixie cut, everything. And when I look back at my cousins who wore that style, You know, my eldest cousin, she always would come home with the latest fashion that as a kid, you're like, when I grow up, I want to look like Kels. Kels, I know you're watching this as well, it's you, babes. I want to look like Kelly. Kelly was always the flyest in the family. So it's interesting how sometimes fashion just recycles itself. And even if you're doing fancy dress at Christmas, actually, the truth is, fly is fly, regardless of generation, regardless of time, regardless of who's wearing it. So, Rachel, let me jump back to you. Who is forever fly for you? Who's an icon that you look at that you think, man, you're just timeless?
I think currently, I'm gonna give Tiana Taylor her flowers.
Yeah, give her flowers.
I think that girl, every time, even down to the point where she's starting to inspire me a little bit, like, bro, like, I could look good wearing that too, like, do you know what I mean? Like, giving me some pointers and whatnot, but her swag, the way she wears her clothes. Like, you know, sometimes people let the clothes wear them. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like she owns her style and I think she's so dope. So definitely Tiana Taylor.
Yeah, okay, 1 point for her. Dennis?
I think it will have to be either Rocky, A$AP Rocky.
Okay.
Honorable mention as well, Christian Combs. I think he's fly. He's doing a lot of what his dad is doing back in the day. Like he was saying, recycling the looks and stuff like that, but it's fly. You know what I mean? He's really bringing back the shininess. And I saw him at one party in New York and he was wearing these Balenciaga sunglasses that were just here, like blowing LED lights. And I was like, damn, this guy is, you know what I mean? He's really stepping in. You know it's this guy. Full was fly. So I think these two, A$AP Rocky, Christian Combs.
You even given an honourable mention. It's like, how many people can we get through? In terms of football, it doesn't even need to be football. Any icons that you look at and still look up to, that you still think, wow, your swag is timeless.
The thing with me is the new style, the new wave, what's coming is not really mine. I'm really a little bit more old school. But I used to love Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
The way he used to dress. Like he could have wear anything, so I always looked up to him. And then back in the day, Usher as well. Usher was one who I like to look at his style because he always had like one piece was so unique, you know.
Yeah.
So I love
he's
to.
even killing it right now, Usher again.
Facts.
Like he came out of nowhere, it's just everywhere again. Like,
He had a little down, but he just came back. Yeah, he's dripping hard now.
Do you know, it's so funny that you mentioned hip hop, and please don't quote me. Anyone coming for my name, please don't quote me. But I was watching a Biggie Smalls interview, like on one like Netflix or so. So Puff jumps on the screen now and is saying, yo, after Biggie died, everyone is sad, everyone's mourning. But the way they just shifted the whole narrative, they came out in the flyer suits. Red and green over this side, all silk, already all pressed. And so I guess as a mark of resilience, fashion is there, black people are there. It's always this conversation of culture. So I want to know from you guys, what is the secret to that? How is it that even when it's down, we always have this way of bringing up and lifting up the conversation through fashion, but through sport or dance or music? Like, Dennis, you've come from a hip hop background. Is there any gems that you've seen along the way?
Yeah, the thing with hip hop is it unites people. So the struggle unites people. And it unites people with gifts and unites the people of multiple gifts, MCing, DJing, breaking, graffiti. And everyone uses these gifts to kind of get out of the situation that they're in. Yeah. You know, maybe not physically, but mentally, spiritually. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're doing something to really let go and just bring happiness. So I think in situations when Biggie died, they thought, okay, let's use that struggle as well, convert it into something positive. Right. Because at the end of the day, you can grieve or you can, make it fly again in that sense. And that's what hip hop is about, really and truly.
Absolutely.
You convert the energy.
The same goes for all of you guys, It's like you watch your journeys, you watch your stories, you watch what you guys are doing. Doesn't matter what kind of day you be having. It's like I jump on your page, I'm ready to dance, I'm ready to rock and roll. So how is it that music, what's the key for music, Rachel? Like, I'm sure there's been days where you're like, this is long, man. I got this gig, and then you get there and I'm sure everything just dissolves because music takes center stage.
I can't lie to you. I think for me, especially maybe so much more so this year, I've realized that it doesn't matter what's happening, doesn't matter where we are, run the rhythm.
Yeah.
Run the rhythm, play tunes. Let me hear, it could be a piano, could be dancehall or whatnot. And sometimes culture as well, people are a bit stiff. Do you know what I mean? Maybe some people need to have a drink or two. Well, I don't need no drink. I don't need no drugs. I don't need nothing. Just let me hear the vibes. Let me hear the music. And it doesn't matter. Again, where we are, I am stepping 100%, boldly, confidently, because I just see it as it's music. We're supposed to dance. You're supposed to vibe. It's supposed to bring out a good energy in you. Do you know what I mean? So me, I ain't got no shame in my game, boy. If I hear the tunes, I'm dancing. Don't matter where we are. Trust me.
100%. I've seen it.
I've got the evidence.
Yeah.
What about yourself? And just being in the football scene, but let me even go further back. Germany. Talk to me about. I don't know Germany. I don't know Berlin like that. I don't know where the steppers be at. So, has it always been that way? Have you always been a lover of music, and has that always infused your game?
Definitely, 100%. I was lucky to grow up around people who loved music, who loved dancing, who played football. Like, we know Germans, maybe they're not into music how we are, but we have it in our DNA, it's in our blood. So people around me were listening to all the old school songs, so I was born into it. And music followed me my whole life. Like, it helped me in tough times, it helps me when I need to smile. So it's always there, and that, like, Biggie, Tupac, all the guys from back in the day, we grew up with them, the guys from today, they're just with us with our own journey. We take them with us because we need them every day. It's like vitamins for us, you know? In the car and not in the car. Everywhere you are, you just pump music, you feel happy. And that's why we are who we are. That's why people love us, because we make good music, we dance, we can do it all. Yeah.
Absolutely. He said it's like vitamins. Oh my days, too many bars. So let's flip it on the side then. What influences what? Does culture influence sport? Does culture influence dance? Does culture influence music? Or is it the way that we've been doing it already? Kevin Prince, let me
Wow, that's a difficult question to me.
Vitamins, I'm ready. So vitamins.
They influence what? Again, please?
So what would you say influences football? Is it culture influencing football, or is it football influencing culture?
I think culture is influencing football.
And why?
Because it's like the culture brings different aspects to the football. You know, football at once, it was a sport what was in one way, but then different cultures came in and changed the game completely. With all the different cultures coming in, the game got quicker, faster, and all that. So definitely the culture influenced football a lot. And it's growing every year more, you know. Back in the day when I started, it was totally different than how it's now. So definitely the culture is so important in football. Because it's like you have every culture in football. You know, there's no boundaries, everybody can play. So yeah, it changed a lot, the game.
Absolutely. Okay, you're going culture, yeah?
Yeah.
Culture. Dennis, culture?
100%. I'll go with culture as well, for dance especially, because, you know, dance is a thing that comes from culture anyway. So when I grew up in church and stuff, I would see my aunties dance. You know what I mean? They would dance to church music, go crazy. So that's something I saw from young. Culture definitely influences all these aspects, makes it cool, gives it a different edge, a different aspect. As he said, like,
especially in church. When you go back in church, everybody's sitting down praying. The culture brought in dancing, singing, you know. So the gospel, the choir, everything, like we did that, like the culture from everywhere. So definitely culture. Come on. You can't go against culture.
Culture too.
Culture too. Don't make it a hat trick. Can we go
Absolutely, 100% culture. I think I'll even jump on the sports thing as well. When you see footballers score a goal and celebrate sometimes I see, man, what's that Terminator? Do you know what I mean? Like I saw
Kudos.
Do that recently for West Ham. Do you know what I mean? So that just shows 100% how culture influences you know, sports and the players. At halftime, I'm sure they've got music, you know, thumping in the dressing room, and I guess the different cultures and different sounds, it might be a bit all over the place, but 100% like music, our culture, our vibe will always influence, because I think the latest celebrations that I've seen, like of dance, even Ghana. Do you remember when Ghana did the whole like
golden time.
do you get what I mean? Like old school, like do you get what I mean? So like it's in our DNA, like you said, it's in our DNA, 100%.
Okay, I'm glad we've all sat on culture, and I say all that to say, I was hosting one crazy conference, bare corporate, not in Europe. It was very, very a non-melanated audience, let's just say, so the audience is not looking like me. I'm running late, I'm running. I've put the flyer sneakers on because I need to run. I've forgotten to change into the heels. I've gone onto stage now and I'm doing the whole entrance. I'm introducing the CEO. The CEO's looking at me sideways, yeah. But lo and behold now, it gets to the break time. You know they do that tea and coffee break every time, 10 o'clock, tea and coffee. I get up and bare CEOs in the audience are now flashing their crepe with their big old suit. And I said, oh, you want to be doing smart casual, but you are CEO. And I said, wow, isn't it amazing that culture even pierces and breaks through some of the most stiffest scenarios or places. So I guess this is not even on my list of questions to ask, but in terms of culture and football and sometimes rooms that don't always look like you, does it not add up in their own defense to have culture, embrace culture, because they've got incredible players like yourself, incredible dancers, incredible musicians and DJs, but there's always seeming sometimes to be a barrier between culture and the rooms that we have to be in. How does that get broken?
It's a difficult question, definitely, because you have discipline. You know, sometimes our culture can go against the idea of discipline. I know I'll give him very stiff answers, but I'm trying to explain it. No, but it's like that. Sometimes our culture, like dancing and all that, in other cultures or in the sport, especially, you have to be careful with the discipline.
Yeah.
But again, if you see the coaches these days on the sidelines, they're wearing like sneakers, so it's coming slowly. They're gonna always open the gap a little bit more. But soon it's gonna be just a big festival, you know. I think football is gonna change in another 5 years. It's gonna change even more. That players will warm up with music, with headphones and all that. Everybody in their tunnel, you know, like they're doing it in America already. I think it's gonna swap over here. That it's gonna be more open and you can prepare in the way you want. So the discipline is gonna be a little bit more easy. They're gonna let it off.
Are there any rules that you've broken because you're like, this discipline
So
stuff?
many.
Well, yeah, I want the tea. Like, what rules have you broken? Because you're
So
like,
many.
nah.
I don't know. There's so many. Like we stay here till tomorrow. I always had my head. I always had my culture. I always did. Like I broke a rule in Ghana. Can you imagine? Like not broke a rule, but these guys were dancing and singing, and I was just with my headphones focusing because I was raised like that. So everybody were looking at me. We lost the game, and everybody said, "Yeah, because he didn't dance."
Oh,
so everybody said, "Yeah, you look at him because he didn't dance." So it was the other way around. But yeah, I broke a lot of rules.
Yeah, okay. Rule breaking then. When have you broken a rule, Rachel? When have you, and it's worked in your favor?
I could use my DJ as an example, I guess. I mean, sometimes a lot of DJs do this, but sometimes, I don't know, say if I'm playing dancehall music, for example, and you might want to throw in a little curveball, you know, like sometimes you got to throw in a little Backstreet Boys, you might be losing the crowd. Do you get what I mean? You might be losing the crowd, you just got to throw in a curveball every now and again and just get the people back onto the dance floor, get them singing again and whatnot. So I guess that's a way how you can break the rules and it works in your favor. Do you get what I mean? So yeah, man.
It sets pace, man. Look, everyone be playing Backstreet Boys and you're like, I started the trend.
It sets pace.
Dancing wise, you must be breaking rules all the time. When I saw your video, sorry to cut you. When I saw my guy's video of falling down the stairs, even me on my own ground, and the people around you was like, what? So even that is a form of discipline. No, you're gonna do it your way.
Yes, so we make content in a underground, and a lot of these people are walking past, and these are basically the people that we want to make content with. Sometimes we tell them, sometimes we don't. But we've had situations where people like give vibes back, they smile. We've had people show middle finger, what are you doing here? Do you know what I mean? They're really, really stiff in that way, or maybe they just don't know it yet. You know what I mean? In their day-to-day life, they're not used to people really giving them that kind of vibe, that kind of good feeling. You know what I mean? And for us, dancing and, you know, just being outgoing is a good thing. If you know it, people may respond the same way back. But if you don't know it, you may think, is this guy trying to attack me, or is he trying to, you know what I mean? So it's definitely a communication thing, a crossover thing. So we recently went to a festival called Oktoberfest in Germany, where, you know, it's like a very, very, very German thing where people drink beer and that kind of stuff. And we looked around and it was just like, you know, not melanated people like you said. And we just ended up playing Amapiano because that's what we're there for. We're really trying to, you know, spark that conversation. They didn't know what it was, but it's good. At least they heard it. Next time they hear it again, maybe they could be like, oh, maybe it's the same kind of music that I heard at Oktoberfest, which sounds mad. That's how it starts, I think.
And you just, honestly, you just capture it because social media can sometimes be a fraud because you never see the other side of what you don't post. But has there ever been a moment where you've just surprised someone and the reaction that you've got has sparked joy?
100%. We've had so many different reactions in general. Usually when we do it to older people, we don't expect them to react much. But we've had this one guy that just literally went crazy, started dancing with us, basically break dancing, and these kind of reactions make it worth doing all of that. It makes us want to keep going because we know, maybe out of 10, at least there's 1 or 2 that will actually appreciate what we're doing and give the vibes back, So 100%.
And just to link you guys as well, because you mentioned earlier about when you was growing up in church. I go to Stockwell Baptist, shouts to Stockwell Baptist. There's one uncle, we call him Brother Snoop, because Brother Snoop, let me tell you about Brother
Legendary
Snoop.
name, alright.
Listen, Brother Snoop, he will come, everything is pressed. And there's a real culture within church where to look good and to be dressed, and even, I went to church as a kid, but found Jesus later on, but you couldn't just rock up with house clothes to church. Are you
Sunday best. Sunday's best.
You can't just do that. So given you mentioned about church and how even streetwear has translated into areas of places where you are fully just immersed with people, and culture has its own thing, but why is it that even in there's an identity to just want to be the best presented, maybe even within faith circles as well?
Because you want to be the best version of yourself. So that's why you dress up. You want to honor the Lord, and being around people, you want to show them that you put an effort in it, So church, football, nowadays, everywhere we go, we want to dress up because we want to represent something good. Want to give good vibes, get good vibes. So the clothes and the style is very important as well. To show that. Not only your smile, not the way you talk, but even the way you dress. That you're serious about yourself. Then you can get someone who's serious about himself to talk to them.
Absolutely. Even just presentation from young. Richard, was there ever an influence where you're like, if I haven't got my elbows greased, my flyers white tee, if I'm not looking presentable, there's going to be trouble?
So we have this family photo of where we're all outside the house, and I'm in this pinstripe suit with these mad shoes and a big oversized puffer jacket. And it looks nuts, but I know that was my mum's effort of putting us in our Sunday best. Do you know what I mean? Face shiny, extra grease, extra cocoa butter. Do you get what I mean? Hair plaited neat with thread and all these things. But do you get what I mean? I feel like with our culture, there's always, it's just in our DNA to just make sure that when you step outside of your house, you look presentable, I know people might think it's materialistic, but like Kevin said, it's just trying to show that, okay, I respect myself, and this is, making an effort to look good, feel good. You look good, you feel good, do you know what I mean? So yeah.
No, absolutely. And what about yourself? Growing up, was there always that pressure to be presented well?
When I think about not really pressure, I wouldn't say it's pressure, like she was saying, that it was never a thing of, you have to be like this or you have to be like that. All I know is they put me in these clothes, do you know what I mean? They put me in these clothes, they sent me to church type of thing, do you know what I mean? That's what I remember, if I'm being honest. But I never got a complaint or side eyes or whatever, do you know what I mean? So I think we were good, really, truly.
Yeah. The best bit is people will still gas you though. It doesn't even if you're in the pinstripe or whatever, they'll still make sure. Have you got a big family?
Very big family, yeah.
What's the relationship between clothes and just older cousins, younger cousins? How did all of that? Because usually in big families, you're looking at one cousin and be like, when you grow out of that, I've made my mark on it till this day. So
I have my older brother. He's 4 years older, and he had always the best swag. So I always looked at him and I was like, and I wore his stuff.
Without him knowing or him knowing?
Without him knowing, because he would have beat me. No, I wore his stuff, but it was just so big, but I just wore it. And it was just, now it would look cool. Today you can have the baggy stuff, and back in the day I just looked ridiculous. But I wore it. But yeah, my older brother had the best swag. My sisters then looked up to me and took my stuff, so it was just, the whole house just tried to give stuff around. We all looked ridiculous though.
When you look back at the photo, you're like, what am I doing?
Seriously. My mom has this big box and she brings out the pictures. When I look at them, I was like, wow. You can never show them anyone.
It's so true. And what you were saying, Rachel, earlier about same for me, my dad just didn't have much. We didn't have expectations of having loads of clothes because just having dinner alone was like, all right, cool. My mum and dad are split, so when you go to your dad, you just know. My dad's a chef, so it was always a treat to have dinner before close. It didn't matter. But now when you look back, you're like, there's a pride in buying your parents' swag. I don't know if you resonate with this. Okay, you're all saying deep amen. So let's go. Go on, so kick us off.
Yeah, I can't lie. My mom, now I thank God that we are now in a different position. You know, we've come out of, you know, the struggle. Let's put it that way. So now, if my mom gets gifted a nice Louis bag or some nice, you know, designer shoes, my mom's gonna let people know she's got a designer bag and designer shoes. You know what I mean?
Are you the same size?
We are not the same size. We are not, because I think if we was, I'm sure she would steal my stuff. But to be fair, I remember when she got her first designer bag, and this woman made a big scene, like, do you know what I mean?
The group chat's going on.
Like, she opened up, hey, what's this? Louis V. Hey, like, you know what I mean? Like, she was mad excited because, again, it's not the norm for her.
Yeah.
She's never experienced that. So I guess it does make you feel good to see how grateful they are for those little things. You know what I mean? It's material, but I guess it's just a deeper thing of that. I've never experienced that before. I've never had that before. So yeah, it's always nice, man.
Yeah.
It's always nice.
It's all like that joy is almost better than receiving it yourself almost. Like there's a weird, I'm so grateful for you.
Literally.
So what about yourself? Like parents-wise, family-wise?
Yeah.
Where's the joy in seeing like them really enjoy streetwear as well?
I actually had a situation last week where like a brand reached out to me saying, okay, we want to give you these clothes and stuff. And my dad was in town. He lives in Watford right now, but he was in Berlin. And then I was like, yo, Pops, let's go together basically, right? So took him around, you can take this. Hey, this one as well. This one. He took it to the changing room. He put it all on. He's like, hey, it's nice, it's nice, eh? And then he's taking pictures. Look, like 1 hour later on Instagram, he's posting saying the best clothing in Germany. Start like, wow, okay, this makes me happy. You know what I mean? Really happy because, you know, I didn't really see that growing up because he always had to give. So now you're able to give back, and that's what you're in it for. That's my motivation anyway.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you give back to your brother after stealing his clothes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A lot. I love it. Like when I see him happy or he's dressing good, dripping, whatever. He loves the Puma store, that's for sure. Yeah, I give back. My mom doesn't really care. She doesn't want anything. Like my father, he's already really good with clothes because he used to live in Italy, so he's always suited up, and so I looked up to him as well because he's very elegant. So he was always dressed perfect. He didn't need anything from me. But my mom doesn't want anything, so I spoil my brother, spoil my friends. I like that. I see my friends happy, you know, to give back. All of my friends, they love to, when I call them, say, let's go, they're ready. They're already in the car. You know?
He's like, I've already been sitting here.
Funny enough, his dad actually went to our church, so I remember coming up, always see his dad.
How was his drip?
Yeah, he was clean, he was clean. And he knows how to dance as well.
Trim suit, he put
clean.
like an orange tie and orange shoes. I said, where are you going? Man? He's like, and he drives his car with the African music, you know.
You just know it's the Boateng brothers' dad. You know, everyone in church will know.
You know him, yeah, you know. He walks in proud, he comes inside, I'm here. It's like, you're not the footballer, but he's the boss.
I like that your mum and your dad, I guess, have different approaches then.
Definitely, yeah.
What fuels those two approaches? How do those two approaches blend really well together, your mum and your dad?
They're separated.
Okay.
That's why.
That's why, yeah. Same, I hear it.
It didn't work out. He wanted all, she wanted nothing, so they're separated.
I like that it's still got a nice, like, your dad's is swagged.
Yeah.
Your mum is like, I'm actually content. I don't need anything. Given your progression, given your career, given all that you have achieved, is it true to say that the same things that we may have chased years ago satisfy today? Which approach do you have, your mum's or your dad's?
In my career, like when I was on my high, on my peak, definitely my dad. I wanted all the best, and all. Now, as older I'm getting, I'm more like my mom. Like I don't really care. Really, I don't care. I'm happy when the people around me are happy. Like because I had it all, so it's not important to me anymore. So I told my mom when I was a kid, I said, when I get money, I will pick you up in a Ferrari. I told her, and she's like, oh yeah, beautiful. She didn't care. So when I was 20, I bought myself a Lamborghini, and I picked her up, And she looked at me, she started crying. I said, you love the car? She said, I don't care about the car. I'm just happy that you made it, you know? So that's her approach. My father wanted to have the car. He's like, let me drive. Let me drive around a little bit, you know? So the difference, but as older I get, I'm more like my mom. Like, I really don't care.
Yeah. And I wonder for you, Dennis, is it the same in the sense of, given your career, given your progression, all that you have done, does the things that you chased as a little boy satisfy as an adult today?
I think we're definitely in different stages. Like him, he's someone that growing up, I just know like he's a legend. Him and his brothers, there's a big like painting and wedding where when you drive past, it just motivates you because they're like black brothers from Berlin and you just know you can do it yourself. So I'm still in that stage where I'm like, okay, I want that for myself as well. I want a painting like that as well somewhere.
There's no more space, bro.
Do you know what I mean? I'm kind of in that stage, so I'm not at the stage where, okay, I've had it all, and now maybe I'm like regressing. I'm still like, yo, I want it. I want to take care of my family and all these people close to me. So I think I'm more towards your dad still, do you know what I mean? But maybe it will change. Maybe it will change.
Yeah. Rachel, what about yourself?
I ain't gonna lie, nah, I want the things.
Yeah.
I want the things. I think for me, maybe because I had more of the lack growing up. So now, like in my head, I'm like, when I'm a millionaire, I'm gonna buy that trainer, I'm gonna buy that trainer, I'm gonna buy that, do you understand?
Yeah.
But again, I think it's just more for the love of sneakers. Do you get what I mean? It's like, I can't wait till I'm in a position where I can cop this and cop that and then not worry about the bank balance. You know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? So
it's like you're not letting buy something and
yeah, like,
do
you get what I mean? But then I feel like the way my family and like just the things that my mum's instilled in myself and my siblings, it's like there's still the core of that, of just knowing that it's not everything. A lot of my sneakers, so as much as I love sneakers, I actually don't hold on to my sneakers. I always send my sneakers back to Ghana. Always, like without fail. Do you understand?
Never send them back.
No. They love it, man. They love it.
Is it by choice or by force? Because I know my parents like they want my clothes.
I've heard stories. But I think my mum knows better. I really love my stuff. Please don't send nothing without my permission. You get what I mean? But I think for me personally, sometimes I see it as like I have so much and I have so many. I don't need all of that, but I know that there's a need somewhere else. So I take pride, and it makes me feel good. Do you know what I mean? Knowing that like this is gonna benefit someone else and whatnot. I'll be honest, maybe not my best shoes. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna keep it 100, but 100%. Like I do that every year, like without fail. Do you know what I mean? So it's a blessing.
Yeah,
it's a blessing.
absolutely. It makes the win sweeter when your circle wins as well.
Absolutely.
Like it doesn't reach its maximum enjoyment.
But you have to learn that. Like I've learned that through the years. I was not the giver. I wanted all for myself. I wanted to show myself I can, you know?
How did you learn it?
I don't know, it just came with time. And I saw people around me being different. You know, when you grow up, you're a different person. Like I had to grow into that person to be a giver. I wasn't the giver at the beginning. I wanted all for myself, show the people I could make it. I want to be the best and all that. But after years, so that's why it's unbelievable that you say you give back already, maybe not reaching the height or you peak already and you give back. I wasn't like that. I wanted to have more for myself at the beginning.
At least you're being honest.
Yeah, I'm always honest, like whatever. No, but that's the truth. Like I give people, but I had to learn it.
So given that you may still want the drip, your heart is saying, nah, give it the things, man, run it up, gifted, yeah, run it up. But also we may be on some spectrum like your mum, like, no, I'm cool, I'm content. What is something, now that the progression is up, the P is in the pocket, the career is doing what the career needs to do, what is something that you will spend on that you think, wow, I can actually do this and not live on rice for the next month? Like, have you still got a goal? Have you still got something where you're like, and to your point, seeing billboards, seeing photos, like, it's possible. You can do it. You see black people, you see it's achievable. It's within arm's reach. Even that is exciting to motivate that spend. So I don't know for you, is there anything else left that you
Them
need?
first. I need to think about
Exactly. Take time. Rachel, let me come to you first.
I think, like I said before, just knowing that there's certain sneakers that I still Like, yeah, I'm gonna keep talking about these sneakers because, hey, if anyone wants to donate, like, you know what I mean, gift and whatnot, I'm here. Rachael Anson at me.
I'm a size
6,
There
thank
you
you very
go.
much. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I think I still have certain things, but I do not. Let me even give thanks as well because I feel like I'm very content. So there's not much that I desire that I don't already have. Do you get what I mean? Like, I have a roof over my head, my family's good, my mum's good, do you know what I mean? Everyone's healthy. And I think for me, personally, those things are much more important than maybe like the material things and whatnot, but the sneakers. I'm always gonna bring in the
He's
sneakers.
the top of the line, I like
Do you
it.
get what I mean? But yeah.
Thank you. Dennis?
Yeah, also, I'm guessing things that are... Now, my thing is being able to just go out and live, basically, you know, without having to worry about, yo, I just spent this, let me check quickly, hey, savings to current quickly and stuff, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Just being able to live, okay, let's go eat that, let's go watch this movie, let's go travel there, you know, that's kind of like that freedom. That's what I love personally the most about it. And the most important thing within that is being able to give that same freedom to the generation after me as well. You know, so building something that has generational wealth, not only that will last now. You know, I think that's the most important thing for me, what I work towards personally every day. You know, because things can come and just leave. Same with social media. There'll be another dancer, you know what I mean? Use the moment, build something, you know, that can last even when your hype is gone. Maybe your little brother or, you know, someone that you believe in, you can invest in them. And then, you know, maybe you've built something where you can employ them or something like that, you know? So that's what I'm working towards. And while I'm here now, just that freedom, you know, being able to do things.
You said generational wealth. I mean, what more is there to add to that one? What about yourself?
Difficult. I just want to, like, I've had so much time making money, and everything I wanted, I had it. Really, honestly, I set the target and I said something, I wanted this, and I got it. Like now it's like really spending time with my kids, being a good dad, being a good friend, being a good partner. So that's important to me now because in my career I didn't have time to do that because of our selfishness or actually no time because we were just around like money-wise and all that stuff. I really don't care anymore because there's other things in my life that are more important now.
All right, flip question for you then. What do you spend money on that would surprise people?
Now, I don't really spend money.
But what do you buy that's like, what? You be out here buying this? Like
Nothing really. I don't buy stuff anymore. Like, or I get stuff for free, or I just buy stuff for other people. Like, but for myself, I don't really buy stuff anymore. How I said, like, I had it all. I don't care about this stuff anymore.
Before I eat all of the time, I want to open it up for Q&A. So there's mad guys in the audience and I want to hear from them. So my guy, have you got a question for my lovely panelists?
Yeah, so everyone knows my favorite word is undeniable, right? So what's something that you'd wake up and wear that would make you feel undeniable that day?
Nice.
That's a good question.
Good question.
Great
Think about that one there.
Innit?
Yeah.
Got to go into the time.
My boxers.
A smile. A smile, you know what I mean? Making the world
That's
smile.
He won.
Have to say that.
He won.
You want?
Want to smile?
I'm gonna answer.
What would you wear?
Smile as well, actually, yeah. That's a good one.
Dennis.
See?
I told
Giving
you.
the gems away
He
free,
won, he
man.
won. So we can't beat
Thank you
that.
very much. Anyone else for a question?
You said that you don't really have any desires to buy things anymore. And looking back, you worked really, really hard. You probably never, didn't have enough time for your friends when they wanted to see you. So now that you have everything, would you have done something differently looking back? Like maybe not work as much because now you realize you don't need materialistic things? Or is it because you have all the materialistic things that you already have?
Good question. If I would have been as intelligent as I am now, I would have changed a lot of things, definitely. But I'm happy where I am and how I did it and how I got here with all the struggles and all the joy. But I'm just happy I had it all. I don't care about it now. I just really enjoy the time now. I can travel whenever I want. I can see the people I want to see when I want to see them. I can come here and do all this. Back in the day, I couldn't do that. So I'm just happy the way it is. Thank you.
Unfortunately, that is all the time that we have, but I'm sure we're gonna do a part 2 very, very soon because we need you guys back in the building. Thank you very much, ladies and gents. Give it up for the one and only It's Rachael Anson. The man with all of the gems and the smile, Dennis M.I.K. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And honestly, you've really just done yourself, you know. Can we give it up for Karen Prince as well, please? This conversation has been all about street culture and the different ways that we come at it, and I'm sure you've got stories to tell, so please get involved in the comments. Please make sure you follow us on socials, and until next time, we'll see you soon. Peace!